Hello my wonderful students. Welcome to our English classes. Today we are going to start grammar, finite and non-finite verb. This is our module 2. So students, in our earlier video we have discussed about finite verb and non-finite verbs. But today we will specify more on non-finite verbs as well as their parts. Now let us revise one more time. Non-finite verbs do not change their form even when the person or the number of the subject changes, nor on the tense of the sentence. Examples: they want to eat something delicious. She wants to eat something delicious. He wants to play football. They want to play football. They want to eat eggs for the breakfast. So students, if you will see the example, you will see the verb is not changing. And why it is not changing? Because it is non-finite verbs. See some more examples. It is dangerous to drive on this slippery road. We are ready to play now. I felt it difficult to comprehend. I needed a sound sleep to calm my mind. It is good to know that you can cook as well. We ate a lot of roasted meat. So students, once again see this examples, see how it is not changing. Either it is singular, plural, first person, second person, third persons, or on the basis of tense. But here non-finite verbs will not change. They will act according to their own way. Now let us focus on verbs. Part, finite, non-finite. Finite is divided into action, linking, auxiliary. Non-finite, infinitives, gerund and participles. So today our main intention of learning the video is that infinitives, gerund and participles, which is a part of non-finite verb. So once again, verb, finite, non-finite. Non-finite is divided into 3 parts: infinitives, gerund, participle. If you will see infinitives, infinitive is divided in 3 parts: simple infinitives, gerundial infinitives and bare infinitives. Come to participle, again it is divided in 3 parts, which is very well known to you people: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Now let's focus on infinitive. What is infinitive? Yes, infinitive is a kind of noun with certain features of a verb. To is used with infinitives. However, it is omitted sometimes. So what is infinitive? Is a kind of noun with certain features of a verb. How you can identify? To, but somewhere it is omitted. So let's check the example. Verb, adjective, noun plus infinitive. Rule 1. Examples. She comes here to study. If you will see the sentence, this is active voice. So what you can see in the first example, we can see that to plus study. That means infinitive. How you can identify that it is an infinitive? With the word to. Nobody likes to be cheated. Now this is a passive voice. Again, if you will see the word to be, that is infinitive. Everyone desires to be rich. So here no verb, but what is the infinitive? To be. To error is human. It is human to error. So again, infinitive here is to. See the sentences one more time, then see where to is added: before verb, before adjective and before noun. That means to plus verb plus adjective plus noun is known as infinitive. Some of the verbs and adjectives are followed by infinitives. Agree, happy, desire, need, dare, hope, decade, want, wish, refuse, eager, fall, glad, happy, heard, easy. To agree, to happy, to desire, to need, to dare, to hope, to expect, to decade, to want, to wish, to refuse, to eager, to fall, to glad, to happy, to heard, to easy. So what is this? This is infinitives. Why? Because we are adding to with all these adjectives. Now if you will see next, then how plus infinitive. That means how plus infinitive means how to. Okay? When infinitive is used to express manner. Whenever we are talking about some manner, the full form of infinitive is how to. The verb implying manner, method are know, learn, explain, teach, discover, wonder, show, ask, remember, forget. That means how to know, how to learn, how to explain, how to teach, how to discover, how to wonder, how to show, how to ask, how to remember, how to forget. Exactly the examples. Direct infinitives. In certain cases, the infinitive without to is used. As I have discussed earlier also, every time it is not necessary that there will be to before infinitives. That means you can identify the infinitive with to. Somewhere it will be missing. So we are talking about that particular point. In certain cases, the infinitive without to is used. We may call it infinitive without to or direct infinitive. Direct infinitive is used after, as you can see the example, need and dare in negative and interrogative sentences only when they are used as auxiliaries. For example, you need to work hard. You do not need to work hard. Now come to the next one, that is gerund. Now what is gerund? Gerund is a verb from which functions as a noun. It is formed by adding ing with a verb. It is used in place of infinitive in certain case. For example, I do not like riding. C is used to swimming. Smoking is not good for health. So if you can see the example 1, we can see I do not like riding. That means here it is direct gerund. Riding, ing form is added. C is used to swimming. That means to is added. That it is also known as to gerund. That means swimming, ing, but we have added to here. Smoking is not good for health. So if you can see, again we are talking about direct gerund. But here we have used the direct gerund as subject. That is smoking. So what is that? Gerund means ing form. And to gerund means adding to before ing form. Again, we can add ing form as a subject. To plus gerund. The use of to plus gerund correctly with be used to, accustomed to, adverse to, with a view to, addicted to, devoted to, and in addition to, look forward to, object to, owning to, given to, taken to, disposed to, prone to. For example, he is addicted to smoke heavily. Use smoking in place of smoke. That is gerund. She used to dance before her marriage. Correct the habit in the past. She used to dance before her marriage. So if you will remove here to, then what will be the answer? She used, example 3, we go there with a view to study science. We go there with a view to study science. Use studying for study. we go there with a view to studying science. Now let's talk about participle. Participle is the form of a verb that ends with ing, ed or t. It is used both as verb, progressive and an adjective. For example, we found a candle burning. Verb, present participle. She returned disappointed. Past participle. Present, if you will see the chart, students, so present burned, past burnt, past participle again burnt, present participle burning, and perfect participle having burning. So in this way participle will change. Once again, participle is the form of verb that ends with ing, ed or t. We found a candle burning. She returned disappointed. So if you will see burning, that is also a part of participle. Disappointed, that is also a part of participle. Burning is a present participle and disappointed is past participle. Let's revise. Infinitive. It is formed by placing to before the root verb. Example, she wants to write a poem. Infinitive. Gerund. It is formed by adding ing to the root verb. Example, reading increases our knowledge. That means we have added read plus ing. Participle. It is formed by adding ing to the root verb. There are three kinds of participle: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Now what is present participle? By adding ing form to the root verb. Going to the garden, she plucked flowers. Past participle form of the verb is used as an adjective. She made a search for her lost purse. Perfect participle having plus form, third form of the verb. Example, having completed her homework, she played football. So once again students, how to differentiate between infinitive, gerund and participle. What is infinitive? Okay, it is formed by placing to before the root verb. That means we will be placing to before the root verb. Now what is root verb? The base form of the verb. As you can see, example, to write. Now what is gerund? We are adding ing to the root form. Again, root form means base from read plus ing. Now participle, it is formed by adding ing to the root form, but here it is divided into three parts: present, past and perfect. You can go through it. Your homework questions are given on the slide. Just try to revise it, try to do it correctly. Fill in the blanks in the following sentence using non-finite verbs. You have to fill up the blanks by infinitive, gerund and participles. Thank you. See you soon in our next video. Till then, take care.